In this video, we are going to take a deep dive into deriving syntax of writing Lambda expression in Java language. So we understand how we define data variable and function variable, and we understand the meaning of type and value. So on left hand side, we see one integer variable defined as int a is equal to 100. On the right hand side, we see defining a function variable with function type, then name of function variable called fun is equal to, we write something, we assign something to this equal sign, that is called as value. We write function as a value. So we are going to understand that how that syntax of Lambda has been derived. In this case, int is a type and 100 is the value. For the function variable, function type in blue color, that is a type of function. It is similar to like we have data type for variable. Then what we have in this green color, that is called as the value of that function variable. So here important point to observe is that what is written in green color like 100 or something for this function variable, that does not contain any type information. Type information is always on the left hand side of the equal sign. That is what we write before that variable name. Like before a we have written int, and before fun we have written some function type. So important point is that value does not need any type information. This is called as the value. So type of this value is present here. So value does not contain any type information. So suppose we define a method in Java as some function called my function. So in this way we define it. We write say public, then return type is void, some name of the function, then input specification and method body. If you want to assign this function as a value to some variable, say fun variable is equal to this method we are assigning. So in this case we have written public. That public keyword is not required, because public keyword makes sense only when we define function or method inside a class. Our function is a standalone function. It is not defined inside any class. So public is not required. So we just discard it. In the same way, void keyword is also not required, because compiler can infer that return type of that function by looking at the body. So here this function is not returning anything, so compiler can easily infer that return type is void. So we also remove that return type from this. Now name of function, that is my function, that is also not required, because we assign this function as a value to fun variable. We are going to use fun variable to access this value. Like in our example, we assign 100 to a variable, then we are not going to use 100. We are going to use that name of the variable to refer to that 100 value. In the same sense, once we assign this function or method to a variable, we are going to use that variable to access this function. So name of function is also not required. So we just discard it. So now what we are left with is this information. To differentiate a lambda from normal function definition, one arrow operator is placed between this input specification and this method body. So lambda expression is written like this. We have input specification, then we have this minus sign, greater than sign, that is called as arrow operator. Then we have method body. So form of lambda expression is A is to B, whose interpretation is we have something as an input. Using that input, what you are going to do is you are going to perform these processing steps. So that is A arrow B. It is called as lambda expression in programming terminology. So now if we compare creating integer variable and creating function variable, it will be like this. So here we assign this value in form of A arrow B, which is called as function as a value to this fun variable. The data type of this value is here. Like we have data type of this 100 in this specification. So here we do not write like 100 is integer. We don't write 100 is integer, because we have assigned this 100 to integer variable, it is understood that the data type of this value is integer. So in the same way, when we assign some function as a value to some function variable, data type of this value is this function type. So in this way, syntax of Lambda is derived. Now, next concept that we need to understand is what exactly is this function type. Here we have assumed that there is some function type, but we need to understand that what exactly is this function type. Like here we have written integer. So what exactly we are going to write in place of this function type in Java language? That's what we are going to understand in our next video.